Hello and welcome. This is going to be an all signs portal reading for December 21st, 2020. So that's 12/21/2020, which already I'm feeling called towards calling it the portal of reflection. Oftentimes when we see 12/21 or numbers like that, um, well, let's just go with that. So 12/21, uh, things like that are often reflections. Like if you were looking in the mirror, it would look backwards, right? Or 21/12, things like that. And it's definitely connected largely to twin flame energy, though it's for everybody. It's a day of reflection. It's a portal of some kind of reflecting, and we are still in some of the karmic carnival energy of the great unraveling. So I'd imagine this is still going to have some to do with it. I've already pulled the cards, but I have not interpreted them, so it'll be interesting to see what similarities come up. I know a couple of cards were already similar to the last reading I did. But since I haven't done it in this format in a little bit and I know everybody liked it, I'm going to start out with the Zodiac moon cards. So that day, we're going to have, we'll be right on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn. So they're already, we've got two signs. Sagittarius is co-ruled by Saturn, and Capricorn is fully ruled by Saturn. And so we've got that double karmic energy in there of like really facing our karma. And we're also like, so yesterday we just saw Chiron, which is an asteroid. It's all about the wounded healer and the inner child and things like that. Was retrograde for quite some time in Aries, and now just is starting to go direct. And already there was a really big energy push from that as it synced up with Mars in Aries, which is just barely out of its post shadow from being direct. So kind of some full force Aries energy. And so that's going to line up with the moon being in Aries. On top of that, um, Saturn, which has been retrograde in Capricorn for most of the year and has been in Capricorn since 2018, which is relevant. You know, think back to what was going on in 2018 up till now. Today is the last day of it being in Saturn, and it's going into Aquarius, which is very interesting because it takes us from an energy of dealing with karma that has to do with father wounds and masculinity wounds, things to do with income and work, and like kind of a double karmic debt into the energy of karma that has to do with groups and higher learning, higher commitments, spirituality, things of that nature, and quite a fair amount of hippie energy, but definitely in terms of charitableness and especially charitableness, like the spirit to which we are being charitable in. And then to add to that, we also are seeing the Bethlehem star is returning. I don't believe it's right on the 21st, but it's leading up to it, and it has not been visible for about 300 years. And then we have an aspect happening between Saturn and Jupiter, and also aspecting Uranus that has not been seen in. I've seen some people say 800 years and some people say 900 years, and we already had several interactions between the planets this year that have not been seen in a long time. If you go back and look up some readings I did called Clash of the Titans, it can explain a little bit more about what we've been going through this year. Now, to get back to where we're at, we have the moon in Aries, and I love it. It's got this beautiful butterfly on it, and to me that always speaks transformation energy. And especially having the three cocoons in there, the chrysalis, it kind of reminds me of the Three of Wands, but three energy is also to do with Empress energy, and it's also in many ways to do with the death card in the tarot. It's about transformation, and for me this really feels like that moment when like you've been through such transformation and such growth. You're not quite out of the cocoon, but your wings are like smooshing up against it, and you got no room for your legs, and you're ready to like start breaking free from it. And that could be you or someone you're thinking about, or both of you, or many people, but either way, this is definitely a moment for growth. And with so much energy in Aries, it's likely to be rapid growth. I just saw 444 on the timer there too. So this says Moon in Aries. It's card number 13. Isn't that funny? That's the death card in tarot. I didn't even see that a minute ago. And also within the death card is the number 4, which is the Emperor. So definitely some, and Aries is the Emperor card too. So we've got some Emperor energy in there. And it says courage, believe in yourself. Emotionally, you will feel motivated to express your independence and individuality. You may also feel like something new is on the horizon, but but are unsure what this is exactly. An exciting and independent phase is in full bloom or is about to take place. Take the time to enjoy yourself and to feel the life force surging through you and the joy this brings. You enjoy your independence and can progress with your sails at full mast. You feel ready and willing to be a pioneer, to stand up for your ideas and initiate fresh projects. Your vitality and entrepreneurial abilities are in demand. You can be the boss now, so take charge and take action. However, take nothing for granted. Be grateful for your abilities. Avoid bossiness, as you will be in demand by those who wish to collaborate with you at work or in personal ventures. A particular project or the time that you have spent standing alone may soon come to completion, and when it does, you must be prepared to meet others halfway and collaborate. This time is ripe to consolidate what you have learned in your individual way and to look at how this may be applied to partnerships or collaborations. Singles may be ready to commit or for a fresh phase in life. Your independence may be a threat to someone ready to commit to you or someone you are already in a relationship with. So consider your options carefully. Are you better in a partnership as a member of a team, or are you better going it alone? The surrounding cards will point to the answer. If you feel less restless at the if you feel a little restless at the moment, avoid rash decisions and take the time to enjoy life while being aware that something new is waiting in the wings. You'll be ready to accept new challenges when they arise. And I'm feeling called to, for any of you that feel called to do it, when you feel anxiety or stress or like you need to do something, consider where you feel it in your body, and then look up what the meaning is of feeling that energy in your body. Oftentimes for me, when I know that something that I need to, well, not need to do something, when I can do something that will be healing in one way or another, whether it's triggering or not, is that I often feel certain tightness around my shoulders and my chest. And no, it's not symptoms of something else. It's an energy of wanting to do something courageous, or feeling like I want to do something, but I'm afraid, and it takes some courage. And different parts of the body can signify different sort of metaphors. Like if you feel like a weight on your shoulders, it may be that you need to release a burden or something like that. And it's good to look at that, especially if you're feeling a strong energy to do something, like, and look at the why of it. Now, our homophone cards, we got C. And this is a funny card. And usually when this card comes up, it means that you're going to get a closer look at something. You can see that that kid is holding up a magnifying glass. It usually has to do with inner child stuff. And with the red shirt in there, it usually has to do with root chakra stuff. And I'm not surprised to see that come up with so much Aries energy, or because of all the mother, father, and childhood wounds that have been coming up. It's likely that we're going to see issues around children magnified and issues around masculinity magnified, which makes sense with the Aries and Emperor energy going on in there. Also, let's see, 12/21. So we've got it's a 6 and a 10 day. And so we've got the Lover's energy, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune energy. And then to add to that, we would also have the Magician energy in there. So consider those other aspects that are going to be available in there. I'm really feeling called to this card is, I think I'm feeling like it's more about self-examination than necessarily examining outer things, and that it has to do with us looking at our choices. And it's like if you had a choice between a cookie and an apple, and you're looking at it going, like neither one is a bad choice, but like the cookie, they're both sugar, but the apple is going to provide you with healthier sugar. It may not be as sweet, there may not be chocolate in it, but it's healthier for you, versus where the cookie is going to taste better, it's going to be sweeter. And they can both feed your inner child, they can both feed your adult self, but which one are you going to choose, and more importantly, which one will lead to a future situation that you'll be proud of and happier for. And I mean, if you've been eating mostly only apples, then you're probably good having a cookie. If you've been eating mostly cookies, you probably need to eat an apple. And you can apply that in any situation, whether it's work or relationships or things like that. Our Shaman Oracle card that we got is South. And it says abundance. And now I'm thinking about it, it's funny, penguins have been a theme that have been coming up a fair amount. Oddly enough, so has Jessica Rabbit. And memories and nostalgia. Now penguins, well, this particular card for me pulls up the idea of like marching to the beat of your own drummer rather than like following the crowd. Or it may be that you find your soul tribe and you're following a small crowd. South is also the energy of fire and summer and things like that. But I mean, this is clearly, well, it's funny because it's a warm card, but it's in like a winter tundra, like the Arctic. And it may be that we're feeling or finding ways to feel the warmth even in the cold. And I'm really feeling called to the sun, and it feels like in this moment, because it could go either way, but it feels like in this moment it's like a sunrise. I'm feeling kind of a connection to the sun card in tarot, like enlightenment and warmth and vulnerability, kind of being bare naked. But this card also reminds me of love, like the penguin love in it. And it may be that either you or if you are masculine or if you're thinking about a masculine person, it may be that they've been sitting on an egg for a while and either that egg is ready to hatch or they find that the egg was not viable in the first place. Or it may be that if you're feminine, that you're getting ready to lay an egg. That could be actual pregnancy, or it could be just an idea. Or maybe you've been working on a business or something of that nature and it's now starting to kind of come to fruition. Now, in our Rider-Waite deck, I'm going to look at the deck first. So in our shadow card position, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So it's likely that somebody is procrastinating and that there may be a message that is supposed to come to you or has like already been delayed. And it might be a little bit longer. And the Hot Topic card, this is funny. Two of Cups, which is actually more so the Lover's card than the actual Lover's card. And it's typically a card about union. It can also be about business, about negotiating, and it's about emotion. So this is like communication is the hot topic. So either you're going to be communicating with somebody about a relationship. It could be about love and money. It could also be about family and children and nostalgia and things of that nature. Or it could be that you're talking with other people about communication you would like to have. Or it could be that somebody that you're thinking about, likely somebody you want to talk about who is delayed in talking with you, is talking about your relationship with them, or wanting to, at least, because sometimes the hot topic card can be what's on the top of our minds, whereas our shadow card is what's in the background. So where our shadow work has to do with delayed messages and procrastinating progress, like growth that is stagnating. Now the Heart of the Matter card, Seven of Cups reversed. So for some of you or the people that you're thinking about, you can kind of in a analysis paralysis and choice paralysis. Too many options, too many things going on. And also, it can be a card about manifesting, but it's about, when it's in reverse, it's like manifesting your fears. So if you're still in fear energy, or if you're in an energy of like focusing on somebody else and like being upset or being triggered about what they're doing or anything like that, then work to rearrange that. The best way I can suggest to do that is to start doing lists of gratitude. And anytime you find yourself feeling triggered or anxious or lonely or anything along those lines, confused especially, because that card can have a lot to do with confusion, especially emotional confusion, is to start getting yourself into the habit of listing what you feel grateful for. Also, because it's the Two of Cups on top and the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom, I'm feeling like somebody might be realizing that somebody that they're with has been poisoning the well, so to speak, like been intentionally confusing them on purpose, intentionally creating delays, or intentionally keeping them so wrapped up and busy in what feels like important stuff that really isn't, and keeping them from a relationship that they want, that is important, that feels like it fills up their cup and helps them fill their own cup. And with all the, I'm seeing more, I mean, there's a fair amount of yellow energy in there, so solar plexus and ego stuff is in there, but more so blue. So throat chakra, which is funny because I haven't coughed in any of these yet, and I'm feeling that. So somebody's trying to communicate something. They want to speak up, but they're feeling blocked in it. It may be you, it may be somebody else, but communication is happening, whether or not you get it in the 3D by that date or not. I don't know, but it either before then, during then, or after then, it's likely some sort of communication will come in. And the interesting thing is the two cards that we got for that date, the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups came out very clearly. It was upright and ready to go. The Ace of Cups kind of flipped a couple of times, so I think okay. So Nine of Cups, first of all, is wish fulfillment, and what I first think about when I see the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Cups is wish fulfillment for a single masculine, and I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not for feminines. It could be wish fulfillment with a single masculine. It could be masculines who are getting single and freeing themselves from karmic relationships and ready for new love, because that's what the Ace of Cups is about. It also suggests to me that somebody may be crying happy tears, and that there's likely going to be a lot of emotional communication one way or another. The other thing is that the Nine of Cups is typically the most sexual card of the deck, and so I mean, there could be some communication in those ways too. And I've never really looked at it this way before, but the character that is in the Nine of Cups kind of reminds me of like the stance of like the genie in the bottle sort of thing. So and it fits with the wish fulfillment of that. And because of the additional yellow energy in here, it feels like it's going to be a theme of personal power, like in a healthy way. And the Ace of Cups is also about learning to refill your own cup and not needing like external validation for it. So it may be that for a fair amount of you, you've figured out how to do that, and that's when you start to see all the things that you wanted around you being fulfilled. Like maybe it's you've been waiting on a relationship that you wanted, and that starts to come in because you no longer need it, you're no longer attached to it, and so you're no longer holding it at a place, and then there it is. Now, our Divine Circus card, which will be the last card of this reading. I'm laughing. I know this card fairly well, and I'm pretty sure that it came up in the last reading that I did for this week. And it's card number 43, which equals 7, which is about momentum. It's the Chariot energy. It has to do with Cancer and Leo, and it's a very fun card to read. It's Date with Destiny. And yeah, I'm getting a strong pull. It's funny because we started this reading out with a lot of masculine energy, and I'm feeling like this is definitely more related to feminine energy on the other side of it. But I don't know. Well, let's just read the card to it. I really like the meaning of this card. It says, "Date with Destiny. Out of the ethers and into your life, she arrives now because you have a date with destiny. She is a mysterious creature. Her ways are wild and her guidance is true. She may create chaos from which new order can emerge, but there is no need to fear. She has come to inspire, uplift, and direct you. A date with destiny is a big deal. It is the moment when you realize there is something helping you out, something intelligent, powerful, wise, and no matter how empowered you are, something even more powerful than your own efforts. The Oracle of Date with Destiny means that all bets are off. Nothing is held sacred and anything can happen. If you are a control freak, this will probably scare you witless, so you need to know something important. You can trust in Destiny's interventions on your behalf, even if her work seems to be causing your best intentions to go astray. Trust or go mad, because you cannot control her, and you do not need to. Your divine destiny is your best life. It is you in the fullest and most beautiful creative expression possible. It is what you want and need, even when you don't immediately realize it, even when that is rather different than what you once thought you wanted and needed. Here in the guiding hand hers is the guiding hand closing the wrong doors, sometimes slamming them abruptly in your face. Nurse your ego when that happens, but let your soul shout in glee, because you'll know it's the calling card of destiny, and then she'll open the right doors for you. She isn't, despite most people's fears, a sadist, but she will dance through your life in her big stomping combat boots, even if that means causing some pain now to avoid far greater pain later on. The appearance of havoc or mayhem is just a sign that she's at work on a divine realignment assignment. Her every move, even those incomprehensible to the mind, is deliberate and divine. When this oracle appears, you are on a date with destiny. The universe has heard the prayers in your heart, and life is going to answer them by rearranging what needs to be rearranged to sort out whatever has been troubling you. Make sure you let it happen. You are not meant to feel in control. Destiny is an exciting, unpredictable phenomenon. You are probably going to feel a sense of instability and the feeling that things are just going to change. You are right. If you allow destiny to take your hand, she'll guide you into the places you really want and need to be. If you cannot trust her, she'll push and prod you to get you there anyways, but you won't enjoy the journey quite as much. The more you allow yourself to trust in her, the more you will realize that the universe is working with you rather than against you, and if you are willing, it will show you the time of your life. That's funny, I just saw 21:12 on the timer. An affirmation you might enjoy is, my date with destiny is full of the most fun, joy, passion, purpose, and play that I can have whilst being me. Well then, that sounds like an interesting adventure, doesn't it? Led off with masculine energy and tailed off with feminine energy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here, mostly because I'm running out of memory space on my phone, so I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll catch you in the next one.